Dearborn couple is looking to build a new life for their families in Metro Detroit after losing almost everything in the last 100 days of the war in Gaza.
Our Ibrahim Sumra now has that story of Sarah Shannon and her request from the community to welcome her family to Dearborn with open arms.
I lived in Gaza for 5 years. Currently, my mom is there, still in the war. Her family. Every morning when I wake up, I have, I'm afraid that I see a message that something bad happened.
And how many wars did you experience before you came here?
Three major ones, yeah. The one in 2008, 2012, and 2014. But this time it was actually so bad that my family left second day of the war declaration, and thankfully they did because that's when the house went down. It was destroyed.
Whenever they come, Habibi, on us. I grew up in Jerusalem from Sheikh Jarrah. My family is there. My mom still lives there with my brother. I came here to the States in the 80s. The neighborhood of Sheikh Jarrah is now overwhelmingly became settlers who just came, and many families from that neighborhood were kicked out of their homes.
Are you afraid that's going to happen to your mother?
It could very well may happen. My niece, by the way, is here. She's from Ramallah. She does documentary movies.
You were in the West Bank when October 7th happened.
Yeah.
What was it
Me
like?
and my brother too.
What was it like living there?
It's really scary actually because you couldn't really leave the city. You were not allowed. Everything was blocked.
There's not a lot of work now, like the cultural scene is frozen because I'm a filmmaker, I make documentary films, content creation, and now there's nothing.
Everyone has a connection in Dearborn. What makes Dearborn so unique is we're all our parents are immigrants. They came here, of course, for a better future. And then we're born here as Americans, but we also have a lot of culture and heritage back home.
Home can mean different things for different people. In Dearborn, it means the uniting of Arabs all over the world. But for Bahjat Abu Shaban and his wife Sarah, who moved from Gaza to Dearborn 4 years ago,
That's how you guys met in Gaza?
Yeah.
this communal gathering at Scoops and Smoothies, owned by Palestinian Iyad Al-Mani off of Telegraph and Cherry Hill Street, comes at a crucial time.
So, Sarah, what are the realistic chances that people from Gaza can go back to their home?
Unfortunately, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Everything's destroyed, the infrastructure, the health system, schools, mosques, everything.
Not just in Gaza, but also in the West Bank.
With the world's attention on Gaza and the humanitarian crisis there, violence has also erupted in the Israeli-occupied West Bank, some 50 miles away.
Everybody's concentrating on Gaza, but East Jerusalem and the West Bank, they're in the same boat, right? Every day there are martyrs, every day there are killings, every day there are invasions into the neighborhood.
Where Iyad's niece and nephews are filmmakers and have had their own experiences growing up under the Israeli occupation.
I remember when I was a kid trying to get out and go into the supermarket. This was right across our house. I walk in, I was maybe 5-6 years old. I go into the supermarket, I buy what I need, and as I step out, I see these Israeli military jeeps. They're outside, they're shooting at the kids in the street. So I got trapped there. I got trapped, it was a traumatizing experience when I was 5 years old.
A trap that Sada says she finds her family in, which is why she sent local food reviewer and community content creator Ibrahim Obeid, aka Halal Food Junkie, a special message looking for help.
So everyone, we're here today with Sarah, and the reason why we're here today is she reached out to me on social media about her family, and if you could talk to us a little bit about your family back home in Gaza and what's going on.
Okay, so my family was in Gaza when the war started. They actually managed to evacuate Gaza 3 weeks ago due to my American citizenship. I was able to put their name on a list of those allowed to leave to Egypt. So they're currently in Egypt. They're renting a house. And there's no source of income since we lost everything we've ever worked for. So that's why I'm here.
But for her husband Bahjat, his U.S. citizenship has yet to earn his family an exit out of Gaza, where 2 of his cousins were killed and where his mom and siblings remain off the list to those who can evacuate and cross over into Egypt.
I was able to put my mom's name through the American embassy to be able to be evacuated from Gaza. But yeah, she wouldn't, like right now, she wouldn't leave without my siblings and the rest of her family. So it's kind of tough that there's a systematic way that they won't actually allow all the family members to evacuate at once. They try to separate the families, for instance, and this is done on purpose. They're trying to separate the family. So as of now, yeah, my mom, she won't leave because she doesn't want to leave by herself and leave everybody else after. So.
Since Hamas killed 1,200 Israelis on October 7th, the Gaza Health Ministry reports Israel Defense Forces have killed more than 23,000 Palestinians in a little over 3 months. That's nearly 250 per day, a daily death toll rate surpassing that of any major conflict in the 21st century. It's also displaced more than 1.8 million people. That's 85% of the Gaza population, including Sara, a family whose home was not only destroyed by an Israeli airstrike, but also the longtime family pharmacy.
The house that my grandparents built with their sweat and tears. It was a 6-story building that was put to the ground on October 9th. Thankfully, my family left just that day. We also had one pharmacy that was my grandfather's legacy. He was a pharmacist. My father is a pharmacist, and now my brother is also a pharmacist. So that's everything we know, and it's like the legacy of the Shannon family, basically, in Gaza. And we learned last week that it was also destroyed, and everything in it is gone now.
For HFJ, he knows the feeling of trying to escape war unscathed. In fact, he did it in his home country of Lebanon during the July War in 2006.
I was there in the war in 06, 2006.
You were there in 06?
Yeah, I was on the vacation in 06. I was 12 years old. I'll never forget it. Yeah, of course. And then that's why I heard the bombing at the airport. And I'll never forget that. It was like 6:30 in the morning. I jumped up, started crying. And then we went to a school a school next door. We went there. Then, of course, we went to the areas where they weren't getting bombed. Of course, I didn't know what was going on. I was too young to understand. But you could see like I was there for 14 days, right? The war was what, like 33 days?
Yeah.
So the 14th day, the last day where the American embassy can still take you out on the boat. So we went on the boat from Lebanon, from Beirut to Cyprus. From Cyprus, we went on we stayed in a shelter, homeless shelter with thousands of people. I even met people from Dearborn that got bombed. Alhamdulillah, they stayed alive, of course. And then we went from there to Switzerland to Atlanta to Chicago to finally Detroit.
Sara hopes by reaching out to HFJ and utilizing his platform, she hopes she can raise enough money to immigrate her family to Dearborn, a city that is known for welcoming refugees like herself, and hopefully soon her family with open arms.
It was tough for everybody. Everybody has their own stories about how difficult their life is in Gaza. When it's everything, it's your family. Like, your hometown is where everyone you love is. Like, a month ago, I didn't even use to sleep at night, especially when there's no communications, when I couldn't tell if they're still alive or not. But now that they're safe in Egypt, I know I can contact them anytime I want. I know that they're fine. They can sleep without bombings. They're not gonna worry about their next meal. So it's kind of relief. At the same time, like, my heart still aches for my other family in Gaza. All of Gazans are my family, and all of Gaza's kids are my kids. So it still hurts me to know that still people are suffering over there.
Reporting in Dearborn, I'm Ibrahim Samra, CBS News, Detroit.